We're at the North Carolina NC Works Partnership Conference for 2025 in Greensboro, and I'm talking with James Bain. And James, what's your current position?
I'm Deputy Director of the NC Works Commission, which is a state workforce development board under WIOA law for
Oh,
North
great.
Carolina.
So I'm talking to a lot of partners here and some of the vendors just to see what they're appreciating at the conference and how the workforce system's going. But I'd like to start out. Can you tell me a little bit about your professional journey and how you got to where you are?
It was really quite by accident, Bob. I went to school for business administration, and probably about 17 years ago, DOL was doing a demonstration grant in Chatham and Orange counties with young parents. And
Okay.
I actually interviewed with a core veteran of WIOA. She had been in workforce development since the Nixon administration, and she was actually my first boss, Miss Fay Hall in
Okay.
Pittsburgh. And she hired me, and I kind of developed under her tutelage and just kind of worked my way up. I was a director in Randolph County for Regional Partnership Workforce Development Board, and then I was several other titles in between. My first title as a job developer, and then worked my way up to the commission. Just really it was for wanting to see how different parts of our workforce system worked. I
Okay.
had that. Craving for knowledge on how does the local workforce development board work? How does the state workforce development board work? So that's kind of been a snapshot of my professional journey. And I've made a lot of friends and met a lot of great folks like you. And I'm just glad to be a part of this system and being here at the conference today and running into a lot of my old friends and colleagues, which I use that term interchangeable because all of my colleagues are my friends as well, just like a homecoming.
Sure, yeah. So one of the things that people are always interested in, what are some of the core services or programs that you oversee or operate now?
Well, I don't really oversee anything. I work for the commission, and the commission develops policy around, WIOA Title I and Title III. As you know, the State Workforce Board has representatives from all of our core partners on the board, my job is to, I am staff to the governance committee, and my job is to present draft policies to the governance committee. And, we bring in subject matter experts from the community college, Division of Workforce Solutions, Division of Health and Human Services, kind of talk about the importance of these policies and how it's going to impact our workforce development system and in our economic development for the state.
How they can collaborate and coordinate closer together?
Absolutely.
Well, that's interesting. So, how would you describe how your organization collaborates, or how do you work with these people? You mentioned the workforce board. You've been down there as a local director. How do you see us collaborating?
Well, I see it as one big system, and we're all serving North Carolinians. We're all serving North Carolina's businesses and our job seekers, and our career seekers, our education seekers, and we all work together to solve a common dilemma as far as how do we get our people educated and up to snuff on the skills that are needed to have great jobs and to further our business development in North Carolina.
As we actually strengthen our individuals and build their skills to be strong workers for the future.
Absolutely. And my job is not any more important than your job or her job or his job. We're all on the same team. We're all collaborators in this effort.
But you're kind of a cheerleader now at the top. I mean, you worked your way up and you understand the system.
Well, I guess so, Bob. I definitely appreciate our system, and the more knowledge I've gained, the more I realize it is about collaboration. It's about our partners and us solving our issues together.
What do you think some of the biggest challenges we have?
I tell you, a challenge that I see coming up now really fast, and we've been talking about it for a year, but here at this conference, I've already seen people talking about it, is AI and how we prepare our workforce for AI in training and making them aware of it and getting them up to snuff on AI. It's not just about using Chat GPT to, write your minutes or write a thesis or something. It goes way beyond that, you know. And how do we get everybody up to snuff on AI? I see that as one big challenge right now.
I asked that question earlier today too, as we looked at it. And you hit it on the head. I was in a meeting the other day, and one of these gentlemen, graduate from one of the local colleges, and he's working with some people in the park. But he was talking to this real estate developer and saying, "Hey, I got these robots that are going to be here in another year, and you probably use 20 or 30 of them, and they'll go out and they'll clean all of your buildings, and they'll do, and they also can work in some of your hotels and service, and they're actually people walking around." But I said our biggest challenge is getting somebody to take the AI out there and looking at how the robots work and building the language to communicate.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, as these people come marching in to take over, I think you hit the nail on the head.
Yes, sir. That's the next big wave, and it is growing so fast. And I was at a conference in Chapel Hill last week. They were talking about AI, and they were talking about comparing the growth of AI in the first 2 years of its existence, comparing it to the growth of computers, personal computers, and the internet. And I guess because we already have the internet and we already have personal computers, the infrastructure for AI, it's just blossomed just exponentially compared to those other two.
As we conclude this interview, what gives you the greatest hope for the North Carolina workforce, our system?
Well, I can tell you, I don't know who said it in the opening session earlier today, but it really hit home with me. Somebody was talking about, it was an economic developer talking about, well, they're interested in buildings, they're interested in infrastructure, they're interested in everything else, but they said the main, and they being businesses that are locating or expanding here. But the main thing is they're interested in North Carolina's people, our workforce. And, it makes me proud. I'm born and raised in North Carolina all my life, and it just makes me proud to be part of this workforce system.
Well, I can appreciate what you're saying. I've been here almost 45 years.
I know.
And I've grown up in the system in the rural areas, and I see it. It's about building our people.
Yes, sir.
And giving them the skills. And I can see you're a great leader helping us do that. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Always good to see you.